Alright guys, are you copacetic with the tropeacetic? Because here we go. We got some things to do here. I took a little break between the episode, got a little food in me. I've been doing this for a few hours now, and so I needed it. And it occurred to me when I was looking at stuff, I forgot what Gwaelin's love was, and then I was like, oh yeah, I can get like coordinates here. So there's her voice. She gives you the nonsense about blah, blah, blah. She says 46 to the north and 18 to the east. And we already know I want to be 70 south in 18, or 70 south and 40 east? I forget now. So we got to go back the way we came. We've got ourselves Erdrick's armor, and I was right, there is something I think we're supposed to find in that super swamp. So we're going back through an area that we've already been. I would apologize, but you know what? Hey, this is RPGs, especially early ones. Backtracking just happens, gotta do it. Yeah, so what? And hey, you know what? I'll have the money going back to Cantlin to get that shield, which I think is the last shield you get. I don't think you get another one. I could totally be wrong about that, but I'm not too certain. Oh my god, every single step we're gonna get a fight? I didn't want the gold that bad. Oh, but we're gonna go up a level 20. Powered by 4, speed only 2, those aren't great. Hit point 7 is fine, MP is 13, we don't care about. No new spell. It is every single step all of a sudden. Oh man. So I know some of you who are watching this, you're probably thinking, hey man, it's an awful lot of just talking and going over that list at the end. Is there any way to make that better? Well, if you have a suggestion to make it better for sure, let me know. I'll consider it and see what I can do. I think the issue here is that while we're cheating to knock the time down, go through it, see this world, figure out what exists on this list and what doesn't, one of the things that I think is really important to keep in mind is that as short as this one is going to be, they're not all going to be this short. There's only going to be so many of these RPGs that we can knock out as fast as we are knocking them out here, which means we're going to have more episodes for the games later on as we move along. And when that happens, we find ourselves with a lot more end episodes. We can go through just a few at a time, and it'll be easier. Then I will also have more complex plots and gameplay mechanics, which will mean we'll more likely have more of them to actually talk about, because there's a bunch of those, especially in the end of the last episode, I started to read and just stopped because I already knew. I knew real fast it just doesn't apply to this particular game. It is what it is. So I think the numbers are 70-40 that I'm looking for. I think it's in this swamp that we're supposed to find something. So we'll get to the edge of it here and take a little look. So, let's see what Gwaelin has to say now. Okay, wait. Oh, is it north? Oh, the castle is 68 to the north, 45 to the west. I thought it was, she's saying where the castle is from us. I thought it was where I am from the castle, so I was looking at that wrong. So I need to go down 2 and left 5. So that's 1, that's 2, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you guys recall in one of the earlier episodes, maybe it was the previous one, I can't remember now, I did stop and think, I think something's in there. Yeah, Erdrick's token. What the heck was this again? I think we take it to somebody, right? Yeah, okay. So we're going to keep going through here. I want to stop and get that silver shield. I might also want to pick up another key, and I might want to talk to that guy at the bottom again. I have the guide open here to my left. I can check that out in just a moment. It is funny looking back at how the direction is pretty broad, pretty non-specific about what they want you to do. I know a lot of people probably preferred that rather than the sort of linearity of proceeding with plot that happens nowadays, but I actually do like a nice tight experience. It's a non-RPG that I think about the most when thinking about that particular situation. I always consider the Arkham series. Now, I've only played 2 of those. I should be clear up front. I played Arkham Asylum, of course, the first one, and then Arkham City. And you're talking about 2 good games, you know, no question there. But for me, Arkham Asylum felt like the better game because when you were backtracking, it really felt like you were backtracking for a good reason, to do something fun, you know? Arkham City, I just felt like, oh god, there's so much to consider here. Oh, can I not enter from the top? Wait. Okay. Now, I don't remember if this armor keeps me from getting hurt here or not, so we're going to find out. It does. All right. I don't know if talking to him again means anything. May the light be thy strength. I might go and search from tangible head. Oh, he was just telling me that. Okay, so that was a little bit of a waste. I guess we can be happy we got ourselves a shield. I do want to max out on keys here for just a second. And then I do want to take a quick glance at the guide. Nope, it's this one up here. At the guide just to see what my next location is so that we're not wasting too much time. Again, we're saving a lot of time, so it's hard to feel too bad about it. We're only level 20. We're not leveled up enough to drink yet. Yeah, blah blah blah. Okay, so he says we're going to go to Charlock Castle next in the guide. So here's where I am. Charlock's way over there. I have to go back through the swamp. Wait, can I go there? Yeah, okay. I think this is right. I haven't been following... So here's one of the things that we might run into here and there. I am not following these guides and looking at them constantly, which means I might have not done something that would otherwise be done at this point. As a result of that, maybe I forgot to get something. Because we've only gotten a couple of the important items. The flute we've already made use of. I don't think we need to know the Gwaelin's love locations anymore. We got the token, which I think we turn in somewhere. Oh, I should have used the wings to free up space. You know what? Let me just do this just to get these out. We don't need them. We've got the spell equivalent. And I'm going to use the torch and then the spell for radiance once... You know what, I don't want to use repel at the moment. Let's get some gold up in case we're going to need to buy anything more. But got to free up that space. Dragon Quest on the NES is a great series for looking at little quality of life improvements. Being able to see, it takes a couple iterations to see what is the difference between this piece of equipment and that one to know whether or not it's worth it. Who can equip this thing or that thing isn't clear right off the bat. Little pieces of information like that. I love descriptions of things in an RPG. One of my favorite examples of this is Tales of Destiny. There is just something about all the food items, reading their descriptions, like it makes me hungry. Not gonna lie, that can make me go, oh, I could go for that so bad right now. But I still love it all the same. The scorpion attacked before I did? Are you nuts? Yeah, okay. Thanks for the gold, guy. Jeez. Alright, let's use this torch, and so I think we're all good as far as our inventory is concerned. So then you guys can all laugh at me when it turns out I'm wrong. It has been fun revisiting this, though. When I was doing my Bonanza, I was only playing so deep into most of the RPGs. There were a few that I was playing all the way through, but I kind of knew I wanted to do Tropeacetic, although I wasn't thinking early on the equivalent of recording a show and putting it out on YouTube or anything like that. I was just thinking of doing this on my own time and maybe putting something out somewhere, maybe hitting up the Giant Bomb forums and be like, hey, look at this crazy bullshit I did. So to have it have turned into this it's weird. It's just one of those things, like, I don't know what in the world I was searching for when I came across this cliche list. And I don't remember what I was thinking when I saved it to a text file. It is still available. I was able to find the website that the list is hosted on still. I don't know if that's where I found it the first time. That's where it is now. But to have it all these years later come up to something, because that list was sometime early 2000s. I feel like it was fully updated to where we're at now. And then I didn't find it till years after that. All right, I think I need... Oh, wait. I forgot something. What did I forget? Don't I need the dewdrop? All right, hang on. We're gonna... Wait, let me see what the guide says. What's the item that I'm supposed to use here? Yeah, the rainbow drop. Where is the rainbow drop? Of course, Game FAQs has the answer. I need to have the Sunstone, which I didn't get, the Staff of Rain, which I do have, and the Mark of Erdrick, which I think is the token, to go to the Sanctuary. So I have the Staff of Rain, I need the Sunstone. Where is Sunstone? Google. Stone is hidden down an out-of-the-way staircase in the southeastern section of the castle. Tantegel? Did I come here for no reason? Uh-oh. Hold on. I may have forgotten to... I thought I went through every door. Yeah, I talked to that guy, didn't I? I could have sworn I did that. Because I remember... Or is there a staircase somewhere? Oh, you know what? Hang on, is that somewhere I can walk outside? Give me a key. No, because you won't sell me more. Okay, the question is, can I walk? Yep, darn it. There's stairs over here, aren't there? Yeah, there they are. Shoot. I should have done this a long time ago. Hey, look at you, old man. I've been waiting long for one such as thee. You passed me by 3 times, dude. Take the treasure chest. Get out of here, moron. Yeah, oh look, the Stones of Sunlight. Okay, and now I gotta go back to Rimalder, which is fine because that is essentially the direction I was kind of headed. We will go ahead and do this for just our sake. I feel like I accidentally cast that spell earlier when I was doing that grinding off screen, and I feel like Repel wasn't super strong, at least not where I was, although now it's actually doing a great job. You never know with spells like that. Sometimes they're absolute, you will not run into anything, and other times it's just the tiniest little drop in the encounter rate. It's whatever. It's whatever. It's nice that they include it. Usually for this game in the form of holy water, I think. Okay. Oh, yeah. No, I'm not done repelling. I don't enjoy the... Yeah, so see, it's not absolute. I didn't think so. Although it's working a lot better for me now than it was earlier. I partly wonder if the level you're at compared to the level of the monsters in that area has some sort of impact. Don't attack me in the first place if you don't want to attack me at all. Yeah, the dungeon music, I don't know, it's a little too high-notey for me. I'm not sure I'm such a fan of that. The rest of the music I think is solid. And of course the main themes of Dragon Quest have always been pretty good. Oh no, I didn't want to come to Rimalder. I wanted to go to the shrine. Oh, all I was thinking in my head was Rimalder. Yeah, boy, Rimalder is a very well-defended city if it needs to ever be defended for something. It's pretty well built. No wonder why Hawksness was taken out the way it was. There's nothing around it. Dragonlord might be a bit more of a paper tiger than anything else. Alright, I spoke to you earlier off screen. What are you doing, man? Ah, now the sun and rain shall meet, and the rainbow drop passes to thy keeping. Did you give it to me? Yeah, okay, there we go. Okay, now I think we're back on track. We do have to go to the peninsular area. I think that's a peninsula. Maybe we should call it a canal because... well, we're going to turn it into one, I guess, when we make the bridge. Oh, the repel has lost its effect, and yet I still don't want to fight anything at the moment. Come on, man. I'm level 20. Who needs that? Nope, that's not the right spot. Here we go. I will look forward to, of course, the wider variety of music in games that happens eventually. Let's do a little save here. Alright, rainbow drop. I held it towards the sky and changed the color of water. A bridge. Now I came here because I think this is where you get his sword. I should probably check the guide. Yeah, you know what? Let me check the guide. I've made enough mistakes already just on this episode alone. Alright. Yeah, so I do want to go inside here. I don't think I need the spell for this one, do I? Oh, has the repel gone away? Okay, so we have 2 paths to take. Left is where we want to go. A green dragon? Oh. So spooky. I'm mashing buttons again, as you can tell. Surprising thing after... not using an NES controller for a long length of time to see that, like, I'm not dealing with Nintendo thumb at the moment. That's a pretty nice thing. Definitely a fan of that. Yeah, I think I want to walk through there. This game has those wizards. It has the wyverns, the drakeys, the slimes. I do really like when they get those bulls and those weird, like, chicken things that become a part of the regular items. Oh, and the archers and the moles. There's some good enemy design. No. It's not there. It's over here. Guys, I'm so above you. Just admit it. A part of me wants to repel again around here, but another part of me says, you know what? I'm gonna be nearing the end of this game pretty soon. And I already went through one bad period of not being a high enough level. Do I want to put myself in that spot again? Yeah. I think it's behind. Is it here? Yeah, secret passage. Yeah, okay. Let's go radiant. Okay. Of course, more fighting. Path is pretty linear so far, so I haven't really looked at anything. How are these Axe Knights faster than me? I'm a descendant of Erdrick. Again, I just want that level. Still attacking me first. They do hit hard, huh? I've got the armor and the shield. They're still hitting me for a lot. I'm healing mostly because I'm worried about the crap fest you can get into with sleep and then everything else that happens, Oh, yeah. There are plenty of things I don't miss that are in this game, like the light stuff, clicking stairs, clicking door. Okay, so here's where... Maybe I should be looking at this map. Let's do that. Alright. Question is, where was I to begin with? I think this... Yeah, I was here. Oh, they tried to label these. This is hard to read on here. So if that's B1... where did that take me? I should have... Okay, here we go. That's C. That's B4. Wow, it took me straight to B4? Here's C. Yeah, I came around here. Oh, they don't have the treasure labeled here. I know we walked around it, though. That part is clear. I just don't see where B is. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I think I need to go to L. So then we went to C. C is here. Where is the other L on the map? There's K. So where's K? J. Okay. I mean J. I. Alright, there's M, O, and F that I can get there. Okay. I think what I want to do is go this way. Ooh, a blue dragon that is kind of barely blue. I think I want to go here. Ah! You guys, I'm the Dragon Warrior. It is interesting that the name Dragon Warrior isn't like, what is that? Is that Breath of Fire, where you are kind of like essentially part dragon? Something like that. And yet, oh, well, you know, now that I think about it, you do often get the Bedragon skill with your hero, I think. I don't know. All I know is that RPGs have taught me one thing, and that's dragons are mostly for killing. When they're not, you know, bestowing you with skills and wisdom. You had to put me to sleep and just drag this out, didn't you? Why am I still asleep? Time to do a little heal. Do a little more heal. Okay. That should take me here. Still don't know if I'm even going the right way, to be honest with you. This is just, you know, later stage dungeon areas. I don't know. For me, I tend to not have them in my head as well as I would early things. No light. Radiate your radiant. Green dragons, why do you bother? How did I not see? That's what I mean. The damage range that you do in this game suddenly becomes very wide. It's got to be percentage based or something. Just, you know, behind the scenes. All right, let's just make sure he equips it right away. Okay, so we've got the sword and the armor. I don't remember if Erdrick has a shield. Maybe he does. I just don't remember. Okay. So now let me just take a quick look at the guide and see if there's anything else I need to be doing before I go and fight. Yeah, this guy, yeah, he's saying... what I want to do, actually, is... I believe there is... Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so on RPG Shrines, the hard-to-read letters on the map for this, they reference it on their version of the walkthrough, in case anybody's curious. I'm sorry, I keep saying RPG Shrines. It's RPG Classics, but I think they kind of just took over RPG Shrines, or it was renamed or something like that. So anyway, you know what we're going to do with this one? Let me take a look at the time here. It's been 30 minutes. You know what? Let's finish this. Let's just finish it. I want to go back to the letter C on the map. I know you guys can't see what I'm referencing unless if for some reason you happen to have it open. apologies for that. But I feel like most of you are going to be fine with that you don't need it. So when you hear me just spitting out letters at random, just know it's me looking at the maps that have been prepared for this. Just trying to keep my bearings so we don't head into dead ends and what have you. When I played this normal, I actually recall once I was done, like, getting this sword, once I learned this sword was in here, I don't think I did what I'm doing now. I don't think I then just started saying, all right, no, time to go get the Dragon Lord. I think I did end up grinding, maybe not to the top level of 30, but maybe like 24. I remember it being a slog, to be honest with you. I've seen people who reference the best way to deal with this particular part is to essentially, how do you put it? Essentially, like, run from these enemies, because you can get some herbs, but at this point, herbs are not going to do you any good. They're just going to take up space and barely heal you. And you don't really get an opportunity to save your MP. So there's that too, which is why I know that's why I went and grinded so much. It was because I was like, oh, how am I going to get away otherwise? Oh, Stone Man! Oh, good. Now Spoon Man is in my head. I do it to myself. I haven't heard that song in a long time. Such a good song. Don't know what the hell they're talking about in it, but doesn't matter. I like it. Okay, so I'm going to go back and forth a bit here. So I need to take that. I entered what I think is F, and I need to go to G. So, yeah, because I never, this is not something I got the layout in my head. It feels like mazy dungeons kind of went away after the SNES period. It's not that there weren't, like, places to walk through still, but I feel like things became just different in RPGs. I feel like is it Etrian Odyssey? Those are the ones that were like, no, we're going to have you still write these mazes or something. Oh wait, that wasn't the letter I meant it to be. That's the wrong spot. I went into D, I thought it was G. Not a high res thing I'm looking at here. Oh, do I need to go back where I came from? I do. I wasted your guys' time. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it on purpose. Hopefully you guys see that. It'd be kind of cool if I went up a level. I hear people like that kind of thing. You know, that's the funny thing that I've always felt about with RPGs is the different experience of growth in games. RPGs early on, you know, it can be a little rough because you can do so little. But every level feels huge early on. You get to the middle of an RPG, levels are great when you can get them, but for the most part, you're just more about like, I have all these skills that I can make use of, and I'm going to. And then you get to the end game and you just kind of I feel like sometimes you get overwhelmed. There's so many options. You don't know how they're going to make you use those, or are you just going to be stuck using one particular thing specifically? It's a rough balance. And I never really know how I'm going to feel about it in particular. I believe the G stairs that I'm looking for are the ones that I'm approaching after this fight. No, I'm really not going to go up a level before this fight, huh? I thought there was a chance that I would. So if that is G, I need to go to M and then N. Yeah, that... Huh. That's going to take me to H, though. H brings me to an endless area. I think the map might be wrong. So hang on, let me work this map backwards. So I need to go to the Dragon Lord is from N, as in Nancy. For that I need the letter M, as in Mancy. To get to M... yeah, okay. That little oopsie on RPG Shrine. They have a G here, you don't need that G. You need to go right here. This excellent move cheat has been kind of fun. It's kind of nice just having that full damage most of the time. I'm a fan. Ooh, a red dragon. Okay, I'm gonna make a little savey save. Yeah, so, okay. I thought there was a trick. But I don't remember it. What? You hit me? Begone, dragon! Ooh, an armored knight. I forgot that there were still some more recolors to go through. I don't remember the path. I just remember it being long and out of the way. And I'm not using repel just because I do kind of want to go up another level. I feel like 20 is the absolute minimum you should normally be approaching this at. I would never go with 20. Yes, that's probably a dead end. I don't want anything in there. Oh, you know what? In case something puts me to sleep, let's do that. Oh, I forgot that it's every step right now that I heal. Okay, yeah. You know what I didn't realize? These dungeons in this first Dragon Quest for the NES, they're so small, they're so compacted. You don't have those really rough... Oh, hey, a level. Those really rough screen transitions. I remember feeling like in Dragon Warrior 3 and 4... every time you had to cross into a different scene transition in a dungeon, it felt like it was a guaranteed battle trigger. 21, let's drink. Power 3, speed 2, those are so minor they don't matter. I didn't even get a spell from it. That was a bad level up. I'm not a fan of that particular level up. Let's go ahead and just drop a save-o. Yeah, I'm 21 now, Red Dragon. What you think about that? So yeah, now we know we're not going up a level from here. I do need a drink of water. I've been talking a bit, as you guys know. I really hope at least some people out there will be curious about this stupid idea that I'm having and doing this whole trope-aesthetic thing. Because I'm curious about it. I want to know what people's predictions are without actually thinking too hard about it. I don't want them to like go through the list. I just want them to think about tropes, because right off the bat, I thought we were going to deal with a lot more tropes with this game than we have. So I'm real curious what the median is going to be, what's going to be the most, what's going to be the least. It's hard to tell. And it's just, now that I've officially started recording these, I'm so curious, you know? I'm just really curious. All right, I don't know if you trigger when I walk up to you, so... And of course, this is before all the major transitions. Necro, what the heck is his name from 4? Like, all the little body changes are great. Welcome, Elif. I am the Dragon Lord, King of Kings. I have been waiting long for one such as thee. I give thee now a chance to share this world and to rule half of it if thou will now stand beside me. Okay, which half? What sayest thou? Will the great warrior stand with me? Of course not. I am a hero in an RPG. Thou art a fool. That's besides the point. Look at his sprite. Look at that hair. I love it. Fight. How hard does he hit? Okay. I thought he always cast a spell in this mode. Yeah, there he goes. Okay. Survivable. Oh, I defeated him, guys. That's it. The Dragon Lord revealed his true self. Oh! That hurts more than I remember. Oh, God. But if I remember correctly, he doesn't have a lot of HP. Huh, is there a weird heal range with the Heal More spell as well? The things I don't know about... Oh, God. He's hitting me way harder than I expect. This music is really making me think of... It really makes me think of Shadowgate for the NES. And I think it's that part when you're in front of that dragon and you're trying to grab the shield and everything. There's just something similar to that. Stop breathing fire. Yeah, see, usually you have more hit points than this, and so you don't have to quite do this much healing. Oh boy, I'm starting to feel like he's got a lot more HP than I thought. Because I thought it was something like he's only got, I don't know, 100, but you're dinging him for just so little. I've been hitting him in the teens, so let's do a Hurt More spell. See what the difference is there. Oh, right, it doesn't work. That's right. I'm sure I would normally make him sleep or something like that, but we don't have to. We're cheating. We can make games really weird because of that. We don't have to really think much about what we're doing. It's kind of nice. It's kind of like a video game vacation, in a way. I know that's a weird thing to say, but I'm going with it. Yeah, because at the moment it's every other, kind of. And I'd like to knock that down by about 1, because otherwise you're like really draining MP under normal circumstances, so yeah. I think it's got to be close. I hope. I hope it's going to be close. Hey, there we go. Thou hast found the ball of light. Radiance streams forth as thy hands touch the object and hold it aloft. Across the land spreads the brilliance until all shadows are banished and peace is restored. And now nobody can sleep because it's always bright out. Oh, I have to return, right? Yeah, so... I don't know why. I always think there's a bridge that's going to go across from here, but there's not. And now we're back to where it all started. Oh, look at this. Salute. Oh, they turned off the music. The legends have proven true. Thou art indeed of the line of Erdrick/Loto. It is thy right to rule over this land. Oh, I forgot about that. Will thou take my place? Elif thought carefully before answering. I cannot, he says. If ever I am to rule a country, it must be a land that I myself find. Gwaelin said, Please wait. I wish to go with thee on thy journey. May I travel as thy companion. Sure, I've been alone this whole time. Conversation would be nice. I'm so happy. And thus the tale comes to an end, unless the dragons return again. Why are the guards playing trumpets? I don't remember that. Do you think all the guards know how to play trumpets? Congratulations, thou hast restored peace unto the world, but there are many roads yet to travel. May the light shine upon thee. Do we get credits? How did they do credits this early on? Ah, the Dragon Warrior Staff. That sounds like an item. Yep, Yuji Horii. Gotta know that name if you're into RPGs. Akira Toriyama, of course, recently passed away, I believe. As of this recording, at least. Koichi Sugiyama, I feel like I've seen that name a lot, probably because it's the music, so I would have paid attention to that to some degree. I don't feel like I know those names. It's funny to see them say CG because we don't just simply think computer graphics. When we say CG, we're thinking, cutscene stuff. That's not in-game engine kind of thing. Yeah, did Woolsey work on this by any chance? Toshiko Watson. He's bridging the gap, man. Just by that name right off the bat. Special thanks to Howard Phillips. That name sounds familiar. Why can I not think of who that is? Is that related to Nintendo of America? No. I don't know. Wow, that looked like it said Chunsoft. That's not the company that I'm thinking it is it? The end. Those are some short credits, right? I hope that everybody did get credit for that. We know video games were weird back in the day about that. All right, so now that that's been taken care of, we're going to stop the video portion here. And I'm going to close that out. But you know what we got to do. You know that it's not over. We have a list to go through. We're going to do the 83 rules that I marked as the later time frame. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to find the ones that I left question marks because I wasn't sure if that was going to come up later on. And we'll take a look at that. Thank you to Game FAQs and to RPGclassics.com for having this stuff for me to reference because it has been so long and I didn't want to just toss and turn throughout it. So, here we go. Rule 35. Heads I win, tails you lose. The graph rule. It doesn't matter that you won the fight with the boss monster. The evil task he was trying to carry out will still get accomplished somehow. Not in this game. That definitely does happen sometimes, but not here. 36 is the clockwork universe rule. No matter how hard you try to stop it, that comet or meteor will always hit the Earth. No. Those two rules, 35 and 36, seem very similar to me because I'm thinking of Kefka. No, I think Kefka would count for 35 and not 36 because that wasn't their plan to move those 3 statues. For those of you who are watching this and taking this in and you haven't played those games, I'm sorry that I'm making all these references, but if you stick around and keep watching, eventually you'll know some of them, I guess. Okay, now we got a big one. We have Rule 42, Fodor's Guide Rule, and this is a 21 pointer. In the course of your adventure, you will visit these types of places. So let's go through them. We've got Desert City. No, definitely not. A port town. No ports whatsoever. In fact, none of the towns even specifically abutted a body of water, which is interesting. A mining town? Nope. A casino city? Nope. A magic city? Usually flying. In this case, neither. A medieval castle kingdom? Yes, of course. So we will say yes to that. A clockwork city? No clockwork. Martial arts-based community? No. A thieves' slum? No. A lost city? I take Lost City to mean a city that existed and people kind of forgot about it, not like Hawksness, which was a city that we lost to the evil forces. So that's why I'm saying no to that one. A sci-fi utopia? No. A cave with glowing rocks? No. A village of non-human characters? No. A peaceful village that knows everything that's happened on the hero's quest? No. A snow village? Sadly, no. Any sort of magical forest, lake, or mountain? No. Actually, now that I think about it, I might want to break those up into 3 too, right? No, we'll stick with just the one. We've got so many points to give out to begin with. A shop in the middle of nowhere. If there was one, I didn't come across it. A fantastic looking place with lots of FMVs showing your entrance into it. We've got a long time to go before we'll run into that. Subtropical jungle area populated by friendly natives. None of that. An annoying cavern maze. An annoying cavern maze. I'm going to say that one has to do with a maze that has some sort of mechanic to it that makes it annoying. So I'm going to say no. A place destroyed by a disaster in the past. Ooh. You guys, feel free to argue me out of this one. I'm saying no. I feel like Hawksness' loss was recent to the plot, not some place that people go and say, oh, remember when this happened? Boy, did we learn our lesson. So I'm saying no to that. All right, so now we move on to Rule 43, the Midgar Principle. The capital of the evil empire is always divided into 2 sections. So we can kind of stop there because you guys, obviously it's referencing Midgar. If you want to go to Final Fantasy VI, Vector City, I think, was the capital there. You know, there's 2 distinct locations within there. In this case, it was just Charlock Castle. There was no town associated with it. 54, don't like gears or fighting. There are always giant robots, always. Except in this one, there weren't any. 63, the principle of narrative efficiency. If the main villain, or the enemy you've been trying to kill for most of the game before he summons the real final villain, was ever defeated in the past by another group of adventurers, one of them will secretly be in your party, and one of them will be the hero's father. We don't have any of that happening. Now we've got the laws of travel. The first law of travel, anything can become a vehicle. We can stop right there. We don't have vehicles in DQ1. Second law of travel, there will be only one of any non-trivial type of vehicle. Again, we can skip. The third law of travel, number 67, says the only way to travel by land between different areas of a continent will always be through a single narrow pass in a range of otherwise impenetrable mountains. So the next sentence here says, usually a palace or monastery will have been constructed in the pass, entirely filling it so that all intercontinental traffic is apparently required to abandon their vehicles and go on foot upstairs and through the barracks, library, and throne room to get to the other side. This may explain why most people just stay home. In parentheses, they put, in some cases, a cave or underground tunnel may be substituted for the palace or monastery, but it will still be just as inconvenient with the added bonuses of cave-ins and nonsensical elevator puzzles. I'm going to say yes, that underground pass is surrounded by poison. So I think that fits the third whatever here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? I keep thinking that I had 5 episodes. There was only 4 that it took us to do. It just felt like 5 because of the parts you guys didn't see. All right. 4th law of travel. 3 out of every 4 vehicles, we can stop reading. 5th law of travel. All vehicles, stop reading. 6th law of travel. Nobody gets to own a cooler ride than you. Nobody owns a ride here. 7th law of travel. When on a voyage to another continent, we can stop. We actually don't go on a voyage. This isn't like Lunar where you hop on the boat and you cross over or any of those things. So, nope, we can move on. 8th law of travel. There are no shortcuts ever unless you are forced to take them, in which case they will be much longer and more dangerous than your original route. Nope, there are no shortcuts here either, but it's not quite in the spirit of what they're talking about. Last law of travel, the Big Joe rule. As has been described, you must endure great trials just to get from town to town. We can stop there. No such trials for us. Rule 80, the friendly fire principle, or the Final Fantasy tactics rule. Any attack that can target both allies and enemies will hit half of your allies and none of your enemies. Oh, FFT. That happens so many times. Here's another multi-pointer. This is Rule 85, Dungeon Design 301. We went through other dungeon designs earlier, but we saved this one at the end. This is about puzzles and RPG dungeons. The truth of the matter is, though, we don't have to go through these because this is a puzzle-less RPG. The closest to a puzzle this game has, we saw right at the end, which is that the stairway behind the throne at Charlock is hidden, which turns out is not one of the items on this list. So we're going to move on from there. I need a drink of water. I'm losing my voice. Rule 86. Wait, that was a load-bearing boss. Yep, not happening here. We don't care if Charlock falls apart, but it doesn't look like it did. 89. Well, that about wraps it up for God. Well, we don't have to worry about that one here because there was no deity system in here, which is funny because the DQ games will be known for usually having religion sort of, what do I want to say? It's not central to the game. It's not like Bavel from Final Fantasy X or anything, but it is present. 99, the law of reverse evolution, or the Zeboim principle. Any ancient civilizations, and we can stop talking because we don't deal with them here. 123, the missing master corollary, aka the Sabin rule. No masters on this one. We move on. 134, the inheritance of acquired characteristics. This is the Ramus rule. 23 generations may pass, but any person's direct descendant will still look and act just like him. We didn't have that part of a plot here. 135, the pinch hitter rule. Whenever a member of the hero's team is killed or retires, we can stop. None of that happens here. 139, the ominous ring of land. I think you RPG players probably know what that's referring to. I'm not going to read it here because there was no such feature. 146, 7th inning stretch, the elk rule. At some point in the game, the main hero will receive a deadly story-driven injury. Didn't happen here. We can move on. 147, Vivi's spellbook principle. Over the course of the game, you will spend countless hours learning between 20 and 100 skills and or spells, approximately 3 of which will still be useful by the end of the game. That actually doesn't happen with this one. Not only not that many skills, but they're very specific spells that you get, and they are useful for what you need to just get around. 150, back to the gender equality rules. This is part 3, the Luna rule, which means we can stop right here because there is no multi-gender situation going on. It's just your one male character. 153, Mommy, why didn't they just use a Phoenix down on Eris? Don't expect battle mechanics to carry over into the quote-unquote real world. Does that happen in this one? No, I don't think so. I will tell you all, I have a real problem with this rule. I think it's an important rule to have. I think the Eris reference is unfortunate because I understand the situation that they're referencing very differently than it seems most gamers do. And I think a lot of people think that was a mistake in Final Fantasy VII, and I don't. I'm going to spare you that lecture until we actually cover Final Fantasy VII. Speaking of which, 154 is the gold saucer rule. This is about doing extemporaneous things like the chocobo racing, which you don't get in this game. 157, the doomed utopia theorem, law of zeal. All seemingly ideal utopian societies are powered by some dark force and are therefore doomed to swift, flashy destruction. We don't have any of that. 158, the party guidance rule. This is about the hero making a stupid decision that we don't get here. There are no decisions. The hero in this one is just going forward. We are almost done. 164, ladies first. The Beleza rule? I don't know what character is being referenced there. When things finally start falling apart, the villains attract a female henchman, and we can stop. 165, trial by fire. The Cecil rule. Any dark and brooding main characters, and we can stop. 168, way to go, Sergey. I say Sergey for Chrono Cross, not Serge, like a lot of people do. I don't know if that's ever been settled as to what the right way to say it is. I hear most people say Serge. It just looks like Sergey to me, which is an actual name. It will eventually turn out that for a minimum of the first 60% of the game, you were actually being manipulated by the forces of evil. Not happening here. 170, Luke, I am your tedious, overused plot device, aka the Link's rule. I think you get the Star Wars reference as well. Not happening here. 171, world of mild inconvenience. The devastating plague, noxious gas, planet-obliterating meteor, or other large-scale disaster that led to the death of millions will affect your party and your party's friends and family members in no way whatsoever. And I can stop reading the last part of that sentence because we don't deal with that plot in this game. 172, the Golden Chocobo Principle. This is about finding some ultimate weapon or item, which doesn't happen here. You don't have to do any mini game to get the Erdrick equipment. 173 gives you the Golden Chocobo Corollary, which is that the magic formula for acquiring this supreme upgrade will be only vaguely alluded to. Again, we don't have to worry about that because of its relation to the previous one. 174, flow of goods rule. Remember, the number of rules is 192, so that's how close we are getting to the end here. The quality of goods in the world is dependent upon the shop's distance from the final dungeon. It doesn't matter if the town you start in has a huge thriving economy and is the center of world trade, it will always have the game's worst equipment, and even if that village near the end is isolated and has only 3 people in it, it will have the game's best equipment. I could understand an argument for saying this game doesn't have this feature. I'm going to disagree. I'm going to say that while it's iffy for the most part, it does have this situation. So we'll move on from there. 175, Master Key Rule. Any and all locked doors that the characters encounter will be unlocked by the end of the game. This one, no, because you have to repeatedly unlock those doors when you enter and exit. It wasn't saved into memory. 176, evil will always triumph because dumb is good. So this is about collecting the necessary things you need and always showing up with these important things in front of the villain who then takes them from you. We don't have anything like that. 177, Dark Helmet's Corollary after you give up. So it's relating to the same thing as before. We can say no. 178, it's not my department, says Werner von Braun. All space stations, flying cities, floating continents, and so forth will be blown up or crash. We didn't have those. 179, the best laid schemes. This is about a scheme from the final villain. So I'm going to read this because it says the final villain's grand scheme will have involved the deaths of thousands or even millions of innocent people, the clever manipulation of governments, armies, and entire populations, and will have taken anywhere from 5 to 5,000 years to come to fruition. The hero will come up with a method of undoing this plan forever in less than 5 minutes. Okay, definitely didn't happen here. The reason why I wanted to read it, though, is because I had forgotten, and this is why I feel it's necessary to play through these games rather than just go and make the list off of memory. I'd forgotten he offers you to become a part of his plan at the end there, and you can get half the world. 180 is the Pyrrhic victory. By the time you've gotten it in gear, dealt with your miscellaneous crises, blah, 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 9/10 of the world that you're trying to save will have been destroyed. We didn't run into that. 181, Poetic Villain Principle, the Kefka Rule. This is about villains suddenly being poetic, philosophical, dramatic theatrics, and so on. We didn't get that from the Dragon Lord. 182, Compression of Time. This is about... I think they went with the words compression of time because of Final Fantasy VIII. This is all about things being slapped together at the end. I would also argue this happens in Final Fantasy IX too. No, we don't run into that here. The plot is much too simplistic for that to be a problem. 183, Adam Smith's Revenge. By the end of the game, you are renowned everywhere as the legendary heroes. Every surviving government and authority figure has rallied behind you. The fate of the world is obviously hanging in the balance, and out of nowhere, random passersby give you a pat on the back and heartfelt good luck wishes. However, shopkeepers won't even give you a discount, much less free supplies for the final battle with evil. Let me read the next one because it's related, which is 184, Adam Smith's Corollary. No matter how thoroughly devastated the continent, planet, universe is, there's always some shopkeeper who survived the end of the world and sits outside the gates of the villain's castle selling the most powerful equipment in the game like nothing ever happened. Obviously, that last one does not fit this game, right? The Corollary. But... we don't get that discount, but I don't feel like people are kind of cheering you on and yet not helping you out that way. So I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say 183 does fit. I'm not sure. I feel like that one's gonna be very commonly a yes because of how it's worded. It fits. It's a good catch for whoever created that one in particular on this list, but I feel like you're almost always going to see yes on that. I'll be surprised when we don't, is what I'll say. 185, the long arm of the plot. Any bad guys, no matter how far they run, will always end up in one of two ways by the end of the game. Obviously dead or on your side. There is no in-between. Okay, I will look forward to when there is an in-between. It becomes a yes for me on this one. 186 is Apocalypse Anytime Now. This has to do with, meteor hovering in the sky and just sitting there. No, I can't think of anything here. Yeah, in a way, everybody's like, oh, the enemy is going to come to our city and the Dragon Lord never does move. I feel like you do need a change in the world like Meteor from Final Fantasy VII in order for that to matter. So I'm going to say no, it doesn't fit here. 187. So, Andross, you reveal your true form. You will have to kill the evil villain at least twice at the end of the game. First, the villain will look like a person or some creature and be rather easy to kill. Then he will grow to about 50 times the hero size and be much harder to kill. Oh yeah, we just saw it. That absolutely happens in Dragon Quest. In general, let alone this one. In your face, Jesus, is rule number 188. Even if you manage to deal with him that time, you're not done. The villain will then transform into his final form, a third form, which is always an angelic winged figure with background music remixed for ecstatic chorus and pipe organ. Sephiroth much? No, not in this game. Just a couple more. At least, and then we'll go back over the ones that I put question marks in. 189 is the moral of the story, the Galleon rule. Every problem in the universe can be solved by finding the right long-haired pretty boy and beating the crap out of him. Not in this game. His hair wasn't even, it was long, but I don't know. He wasn't a pretty boy, the Dragon Lord. 190 is the weapon rule. There's always a hidden creature who is much harder to defeat than even the ultimate bad guy's final form. We know what they're talking about. We've seen this, especially in Final Fantasy games. Does not happen in this game. I don't even remember that being a Dragon Quest thing in general. 191, the ultimate rule. Anything called ultimate whatever isn't. There's always at least one thing somewhere in the world which is even more. We didn't have anything named that whatsoever. So let's just take a look at this list to find out the things that I said I don't know about. We have 23 things that I gave a question to, but most of those fall under one particular rule. So I had questions about Rule 9, wondering if there was a magic floating castle or a technological dungeon. There were not. Those never happened. I couldn't remember if Charlock was going to be special like that. It isn't. There's a question about if there was a fake ending in this game. There was not. Then there's the question about the country. I really feel like Dragon Quest 1, it's just the one kingdom that you're walking around in. I vaguely recall, I think it's Dragon Warrior 3, that you can revisit this world. I vaguely recall that map being super small in comparison, probably because it is such a smaller geographical location you're walking around in. So no there. Now for the big one, the xenobiology rule. There were a bunch of monster types that I wasn't sure if we were going to run into. And these were the ones I was waiting for. Giant spiders, no. Snakes, no. Beetles, no. Wolves, no. Squid, I'm going to say no. Fish that float in midair, I don't think so. No gargoyles, no carnivorous plants. No chimeras or griffins, cockatrices, hydras, or minotaurs. No wyverns are put on this list because that is a big one that you would see in a Dragon Quest always showing up. So that's a lot of things I wasn't sure of. They just never did show up. So that leaves with last two to look at. The figurehead rule, which is whenever someone asks you a question to decide what to do, you can politely decline or what have you. I didn't run into that scenario. I was asked to do things two times. One had to do with Gwaelin, and the other one had to do with the Dragon Lord. I forgot. I didn't think to try and give a bad answer. If you guys know, in fact, yeah, it does lock you into asking it over and over again. Just let me know and I can update the count. But for the time being, I'm saying it doesn't happen. Last one, at some point, you're going to have to talk to a tree and do what it says. No tree talking at this point. So guys, we have gone through the list. We have 192 rules, 277 possible points. That's a lot. And I just want to go through and make sure. Okay, I thought at one point I typed episode 4 on one of these to keep track. I did not. So, how tropey is Dragon Quest 1? We know because it's our first game, it's going to be the most and the least tropey. Alpha and Omega, as I joked about earlier. It turns out way less than I thought this was going to have. And again, I think a big part of it is the simplicity to the game itself. The magic number we've reached is 22 out of 277. That is a shockingly small number. In fact, that is 7%, 8% tropey. Yeah, that's like 8% tropiness. So it feels like Dragon Quest 1 is really extremely original, but of course, we're talking about a sample size of just one. So that's it. We've got our first score for Tropeacetic Dragon Quest 1 is done. And I'm going to rest and relax and do, I don't know, something that's not playing RPGs. Because I did that all day today. I started at noon. It is about to be 6. Even though you guys aren't going to see all those hours. And you're welcome for that, by the way. So that's it. We have now officially started. The list has been made, and it's just about updating it from here on out. I thank you guys for joining me. Of course, this list isn't final. If you guys catch a mistake, let me know. Best thing to do, and I don't like to be one of those guys who says, "Oh, leave a comment in my video." But if you could, just because that way, if somebody else catches one and they see your comment, they can be like, "Oh, I don't have to bring it up. Somebody else already said it." I will monitor as best as I can how those go. So, what's the next one? I don't know. I'm not going to pick until I sit down and say, let's spin up that wheel. Take it easy, guys.